Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today I will be showing you guys some tips and tricks on how to create better Morphs in Warrior Cats Ultimate Edition. So yeah, let's go ahead and get on with the video. So as starters, the most important part of creating your Morph or your OC is you want to have a pretty good idea of what you want them to look like. You can't just go in blindly because it may come out good, but it can always come out better if you have a good idea of what you want first. So some suggestions are you can look at real life cats and find a real life cat you like, or you can just think of something you like. So I try to get a good idea of what you want. It can be anything to your heart's desire. And yeah. Also, if you're creating a morph, one of my big suggestions to make people really notice your morph more, or OC, or really just stand out, and look different and more you, try your best not to copy other people's designs, even if they may look really pretty. Try to do something original that you created. Like, as you can see here, this is probably and if this is an original OC, I don't think I've ever seen anybody with a morph quite like mine, and probably like a couple other morphs and OCs out there in the world. So try your best to be an original creator. Make something new and beautiful. Who knows, maybe it'll become a trend one day. So now I have a pretty good idea of what you want to make. There's a couple styles you can do. You can do simple, which I'm going to go here. So I'm going to reset my morph so I can show you. You can do simple, which is like, oh, I want to make a striped cat. You could just do face stripes, and you can do stripes, maybe a body stripe, and then you can just use the simple, of course, to just like color it in. Like, I want to make an orange tabby. I'll go ahead, I'll color it all in here and just get some colors. There, I made an orange tabby cat. Wow, that is simple, which is pretty simple. You don't have to do much. They can look really pretty. There's also detailed, which if you're doing detailed, you might have a cape, you might have a mask, you might have the face mask, you might have brindle, and you might have your stripes. You might have like oh, I'm gonna have stripes. So this is like a bigger version. You can with stripes like these, and then you can go. Where's the rear stripes? So you can go like this, rear stripes, and it's pow. That's really detailed, and you can go in and color it all with paintbrush. Or for the sake of this, I'm going to color this in. Not using paintbrush, so we're not here for like eternity. So like, go ahead, color it in. Like, oh, use some abstract colors like this and that. And like, pow, you have a unique morph, but of course it'll look better. Yeah, it's also detailed, or you could go for realistic, which is really realistic, of course. It's like, if you're going realistic, use the reference on the cat that's your cat is based off, but try to make yours unique and don't completely copy realistic. Photo, just get your own idea of what you want your cat to look like with its special details and origin and story, and then use a reference with a real one to add the details that will really tell that that's supposed to be that kind of cat. So, or if you want to be you can create a whole different style yourself that you can use to create your own OCs and morphs. I have my own special style that I use as well, that I created, that I was an original creator of for some of my morphs and OCs I'm using because I like it. So you don't have to go with any of those free. You can create your own, get creative. It'll take you a while, so yeah. Also, if you're making a morph, just please don't rush. Take your time. There's nobody really rushing you. If you do want to be a morph maker, like those people in the malls, if you know what I'm talking about, try to have a really good experience at this and be better at making morphs faster, because people aren't going to wait forever, believe me. So try to take your time, and while you're doing that, make sure you're always saving now and then, because you never know when you could accidentally reset your cat, or something could happen or you get disconnected. Of course, you can always come back, but just save it in case anything happens, because you never know, honestly. So try to, during like every now and then, try to save it so in case something does go wrong, you don't lose it. Alright, with that said, there's some key details that make morphs look really pretty, so I'm going to use a couple examples here, like this. This is just an example, this isn't an actual morph, but this is a fade, if you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to add this. So fades are a very big part of it. They just add that detail and contrast that are seen in real cats. They can be used for detailed cats and just not as much for simple cats. If you're doing a simple cat, you could just use cape. But if you're somebody else, you can just do this. So if you really like fades, here's some tips and tricks for you. I suggest using a stripe, and so, oh my gosh. So first of all, you want to have a color palette. It has to be one solid color palette. For this, I'm going with black. If you're going with orange, which can be really hard for some people, because if you go in orange, it's kind of hard because it's kind of hard for some people to create an orange OC because it gets darker like that. And then it kind of just looks like, if I made this orange really quickly, so you start up, oh my gosh, my mouth is simple. So if you try to make an orange morph, this is how it would come out. If you try to do the fade like this, which is how most people would do it. Right? Like that, this, this is how it would come out, basically. And I'm going to show that in game really quickly. So yeah, this is how it would look in game. Which, I mean, a lot of people could say they like this, but it's really just the red that can bug you out. It's kind of hard to get the perfect color scheme for this. So if you are doing that, here's what you can do, which helps me create my wonderful OCs. I'm going to be using Cliff Star right here as an example. As you can see, which a lot of people will probably try to do but can't, is you want a more vibrant orange like this. It's very vibrant, unlike the other one. So what you can do, which is what I did for mine, is I didn't use these down here. I think I used this first color, but I didn't use these mainly. I used this top row, because if you go here in the top row, I used that, of course. I used some of them, but if you're going to be honest, these are really good ginger colors, which you can use. They look wonderful, honestly, which is something I'm going to point out if you're trying to make a ginger morph. Try to base it off of these colors if you're trying to make a more vibrant one, because it looks very pretty. Those colors are very useful, so I'm going to go back to my fade example. So, when you are creating one, there's a couple details I missed, so here we go. When you are creating one, there's something that you want to probably have. You probably want to have a stripe, like said, and you want to have your color palette. For this, I'm doing black. So you want to have like a row like this, and it's a good solid row. Or if you're using colors like these, just go around and try finding lighter ones. So I'm using black. So make the the stripe, if you're going to have one, the very top color right here, because that's the darkest. And you can make other details like that, and you can make this like this, and yeah, so on and on. Then for this, then you probably want to have a cape, and you want to go with this color right here, and then you want to color that like that, and you also want to color the head that same color. Then you're going to have a body stripe if you're going full out fade, and this middle part right here, which is your body, you go for this color and you color that in. Then for the stripe, you color it this color right here. And then for that, there's two options. You can either color the legs the same color as this middle body stripe, which is what I'm doing on mine. Or you could go one more down and you can make it just a little lighter, like this. Or you could create the first one So you could create the first top part of the legs the same color as the body stripe and then lighter. But I really suggest doing a solid color, but you can be you. Like I said, I'm going to go like this. Oh, I'm breaking it. I like to go like this, so I'm making it the same color as the body stripe. You don't have to do this. And then what I like to do is two options. When you get to the last part, which is the legs right here, I'm going to highlight them black so they're easier to see. Like this, you get to these little leg parts. You can, you can either keep it those colors, or you can make the paws the same color as the underbelly, or you could make them the darkest color, like the stripe, like this. It really depends on what kind of morph it is and color palette. If you're going orange, I suggest making it white. If you're going ginger, if you're going like a more this color, brown color, you can do darker. It's really whatever you like. I like to call these. It doesn't really have an official name. It used to be an old trend, but I differented it. It doesn't really have a name, but I like to call them toast legs. So yeah, toast legs. So that's really how you can make a good fade. And for the tails, if you have the stripe, just make the first two that color. If you have then the cape, the second two colors, and then you can really just go so on and on. The tails will be different every time, so let me kind of tell you what to do around with the tails. And here are some of the patterns I like to use for facial. So of course your head will be the color they are, and I like to use these because these are very pretty. I like them. You can also I also like to use these eye rounds just to add detail. I like to have this pointed nose to go up, section tears, the muzzle pads, this mouth, and the whiskers, and that's just how you can do yours. But those are just some tips and tricks on how to improve your morphs. And if you're wondering, like on this morph right here, like, oh, but my underbelly and my top coat are the same colors, what am I gonna do? So if you're kind of in this situation, they're really just kind of the same colors. You can't really do toast legs, but we can do, so if you have a cat like my cat right here, you can you can take some, because you can't be entirely white unless it is entirely white, I don't know, but you can make it a darker color. Like I took this color from here and made one of the legs that color, not all of them. Oh no. And you can do that, and you can't really do a fade, so just let it be. Get creative. That's really all my tips and tricks I have for you, and